Well, we are officially done with the month of July, so it's time for me to sit down and show you our actual household budget and all the ways that we went over budget this month. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about life and money and how you can enjoy life while still accomplishing financial goals through the use of a budget. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, then scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. Like I said, here on my channel, I love talking about budgeting, very passionate about it, and my husband and I make a budget for every single month that we try to follow each and every month. And so here on my channel, I do share our actual household budgets if you are new here. So today I'm sharing our July 2021 budget report and net worth updates. So it's gonna be a big one. We had a couple little lifestyle changes this month, which were reflected in our budget, and you will definitely see. But before we get into it, I want to let you know that the budget template I will be using is one that you can get yourself on my shop. So I will have a link to that in the description box down below, and you can check it out. It's an instant download, works in Excel and Google Sheets and numbers, all the things. So you can download it and start budgeting from here on forever once you get that download. And if you are new around here, to give you a little bit of backstory, I live in Portland, Oregon with my husband Jacob and our 14-month-old son named Peter. We live in the suburbs of Portland and we own our home, and this is how we spent our money this month. So the first section that you'll see here in the budget is our income section. So my husband Jacob works in product marketing for a software company, and he does like competitive intelligence. So he has his income here. I have this blocked out for privacy. Jacob's job is also fully remote, which is really nice. So he just has like an office set up in our home. We actually have 2 rooms that are used as offices in our house at this time, which is kind of crazy, but it's been really nice to be able to have him not have a commute with his job. And then also, as far as income goes for his job, this month was actually a 3 paycheck month for him. He is paid every other week, which is newer for us. Before, we were always paid just like twice a month. So we're getting in this new budgeting habit of getting paid 3 times a week, twice a year. So I'm kind of just viewing our budget as like we will budget off of 2 paychecks a month and have that be our standard budget. And then for the 2 months a year that we get 3 paychecks that month, we'll then use that as kind of like a bonus, like this extra money that we get through the month. So July was an extra paycheck month for Jacob, so our income was a bit higher this month because of that. So the next line item that you'll see is my business income. So I stay home with my son Peter, and I also have my business. Everything that you see here on YouTube and everything that I do make money from. And so thank you for watching my videos, for picking up a budget template. Like, all of that is so helpful to me. And so I do make money, and I have this blocked out for privacy as well as Jacob's income, just to be able to give some privacy towards Jacob's income and everything. So I do make money, but that's blocked out. And then the next thing that you'll see is this other line item. Maybe you have experienced this as well this month. We got our child tax credit this month given to us in our direct deposit of $300 for our son Peter. But I actually kind of forgot about this, so I forgot to budget for it, but we did receive the $300 for the childcare tax credit, as I'm sure many of you also did as well. So as a grand total, we have $10,781.52 as our total household income. We use a zero-based budget, which means all of our income equals all of our expenses and savings, all of the money out. So now to show you how we spent or saved every dollar in our budget. So the first thing that we have is our tithe. So we are Christians and we believe in giving to our church and other organizations, and so the tithe is the first thing that you see in our budget. So we gave $1,066 to our local church. Next we have is African New Life. We support 2 children in Rwanda with African New Life, and that is $78 a month. And then we support another missions organization at $40 a month. Next we have is our mortgage, which is at $2,220.50, and this is a standard. This includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. So all of that rolled into one for our mortgage, and this month it was 21.6% of our take-home pay. The next thing that we have is our HOA. We live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, so we have to pay $121.46 each month for that. And next we have is water sewer, which ended up being $93.91 for water. This is normally around $93 to $95 every month. Next we have is natural gas, which we have natural gas in our home for heat and also for cooking. Since we are in the middle of summer, we definitely didn't have to use any heat, so this was just like cooking that we did. So it was $21.35 using our gas stove. Next we have is trash, and we pay our trash every other month. This month was not a trash month, so we didn't have to pay anything. Next we have is electric, and this ended up being more than I expected, but we budgeted $60. We actually spent $96.81 for electric, which actually I know that compared to most other places in the United States, I feel like Oregon's electric costs are really low. I know that our climate in Oregon is also pretty mild, but we do have a central air conditioner in our home, which I'm so grateful for. It's running right now. And actually central air is not super common in Portland because our climate is pretty mild. But that being said, we had record-setting temperatures this last month. We had a few days where it was like 115. Like, it was crazy. We are used to it more being like 90 in the summer, like 85, 90 in the summer. Those are like our high temps. So that was definitely out of the norm, and therefore like our AC was running overtime for like a week there, and then we just use it to keep our house at like 72. But so electric does include our air conditioner and then any lights that we have on. We do use energy efficient bulbs and things like that. Try to be mindful of that usage as well. So next we have is internet, which is at a standard $44.99. And then we have our phones. This is for my cell phone and Jacob's cell phone. We have like an unlimited data plan and everything, and that is at $109.59. Honestly, we didn't need unlimited data because we both work from home. We're home all the time, but that was just like the plan option, and it ended up being cheaper than the other stuff. So I don't know, it worked out that way. Next we have is insurance. This is car insurance for our two cars. We have a 2013 Corolla and RAV4, and that was $109.65. Next we have is life insurance. So we have a life insurance policy on myself and my husband, and this is a term life insurance policy, and that was $52.89 for the both of us. Next we have is groceries. And this is where things get bad and I owe an explanation. I feel like every month recently it's been like, oh, we're over on groceries. This month was astronomical. We've never spent this much on groceries. Never. And I'm horrified. I normally share like a good rule of thumb would be to maybe spend around $150 per person per month in your household. So since there are 3 of us, I would love to stick to no more than like $450, and we've never even reached $450. We've never even reached $400. But this month we decided to try and be healthier, and we kind of started the month thinking of doing the keto diet, which is very low carb, high fat and protein. And so we were buying more protein meat than we normally do, and then we also bought some other like keto friendly snack kind of things at Costco, and my goodness, it added up so quickly. And you guys, we didn't even finish the month on like full strict keto. I'm not a health professional, not a nutritionist, none of that kind of stuff, not a dietitian, but for me personally, I did it for about a week and then I just felt like awful. Honestly, it actually was like messing with my cycle, and I didn't love that, and just not making me feel good. And so I then switched to just trying to be more mindful of the kinds of things I eat and just trying to be more healthy, eat less processed things, less sugar. And so I did lose a few pounds, which is great. I know it's different for everyone, but I would not go back to doing keto, full-blown keto for myself. So Jacob stuck with it longer than I did, and he saw some progress as well. But it was an expensive month for groceries because of that, and we should not spend that much ever again. I also don't think that it helps that I know prices are going up for literally everything, so that definitely was an increase. But I'm horribly embarrassed that we spent $621 on groceries because we've never gotten even close to that. We've never spent like $400. Okay. Next we have is eating out. This was actually pretty good. We budgeted $150. We actually spent $154.79 on eating out. Next we have is gas, and we budgeted $50. We spent $113.52. So I basically accounted for 1 fill up, and then this month ended up that we fill up at the very beginning of the month and then at the end of the month. So $113.52, 2 fill ups basically. Next we have is fun. We budgeted $50 for fun. We spent $0 on fun. But after that, we had a few fun other things happen this month. First off was my birthday. I turned 27 on July 29th, and we budgeted $100 for my birthday. We spent $129.24. We went out to eat with some friends and got crumble cookies, and Jacob got me flowers, just a few things there. And next we have is anniversary. It was also our 6-year wedding anniversary, July 18th. So we budgeted $100 for that, and we spent $130.97 on anniversary food and celebration, things like that. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'm just at this point in my life where I don't need gifts for like anything for like birthday. I don't. And you'll see like in our personal spending money, it's like I have the money available. If I want to spend it, I'll spend it. So I just don't feel like I even need gifts. Like Jacob kept asking me what I wanted for my birthday. I was like, I literally need nothing. Like I don't want anything. Like I just wanted to go out to dinner with my friends. So that's what we did, and it was fun. But next we have is miscellaneous. We budgeted $150 for miscellaneous, and we actually spent $204.23. So we were a little bit over on that as well. But you always need a miscellaneous category because there's always like random things that don't really have a place in your budget. So $204.23. Next we have is Peter. So we put $50 a month into a brokerage account that's in our names, but the plan with that is that we can gift it to Peter, like for things in his life. Things like helping him with a car when he turns 16, or helping him with a wedding or a down payment on a house, like just random things like that that we would like to be able to gift him under the circumstance that like he's working on that too, and he's putting in the work and savings for those things. So we just put $50 a month into that investment account and have been watching it grow. Next we have is college. We also put $200 a month into Peter's 529 college savings plan. And yeah, hopefully he can use that to go to college someday. All right, so the grand total here, we spent $5,658.41 on expenses, money that went out of our household. I know that I shared the brokerage account money here with Peter and the college savings, like those obviously are going towards investments and savings that are for us, but I view this part of my budget as things that get sent out of our household, things that I have auto drafted, things get paid, and so I like to have that in that section. But now I'm going to show you our savings section of the budget. So this is our sinking fund section. You can see the money that was added to it for the budget, the actual, and then how much we spent out of it, and then the beginning balance that carried over from last month, and then the ending balance. So first off is our emergency fund. We do have a full like 6-month emergency fund, and it's in a high yield savings account, earns, you know, a tiny little bit of interest, but it's something. So we did earn a little bit of interest on it this month, so it still is over $20,000, but we didn't add anything to it specifically. Next we have is Jacob's personal money. Jacob gets $150 a month in personal spending money, and I get $100. The reason why it's different is just because Jacob is more of a spender than I am. I feel like I don't need to spend my money on a whole bunch of things, though I did spend a lot of money this month, but I just don't feel like I necessarily need to. So I'm totally happy with giving him more money in his personal money because he actually wants to like do things with it. So he spent $310 on like his sorts of hobbies, and so he's actually negative $78.57. And I don't love this going negative, but he bought things at like the end of July, and he's like, but by the time August rolls around, then I'll have more money in my account. So it's about to be positive again, but he took advantage of like a sale or something, so he is technically negative. The way that I have all of our sinking funds laid out in our bank account is that I just take the grand total of all of these funds and keep that in one bank account. I know that some people will have a bank account per like sinking fund, and you could totally do that too, whatever works best for you. But I personally don't feel like I need to do that. I instead just like to look at the grand total here. That's why even though there's a negative balance in one, that doesn't mean we have a bank account with a negative balance, because the grand total of all of them obviously is positive. So that's my little disclaimer there. Next we have is my personal spending money. Like I said, I get $100. I actually spent $220.44 this month, honestly mainly on home decor types of items. That's just something that's not needed and Jacob doesn't care to have, and so I just paid for that out of my personal spending money because I had so much. And so we bought a few like art pieces, and I bought a few art pieces for like our home and things like that. So $388.26 is what I now have. Next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into an extra giving fund, and that way we can say yes to random giving opportunities if they come up. So we actually spent $35.39 this month, and we're now down to $256.01. Next we have is gifts. We also put usually $50 a month into a gifts fund for things like baby showers, weddings, gifts for friends, things like that. We budgeted 50. We actually put 100 into this because we carried over a negative balance, and I don't love these things to be negative. So we ended up having some extra money throughout the month, and so I was like, just gonna make these things not negative anymore. So put $100 into it, so the balance is now $15.96. Next we have is clothing. We budget $50 a month for clothing. This is just for Jacob and I, and we don't typically need a lot of clothing, but this month we actually spent $90.83. So I did add $165 to this to zero out this account so that it also wasn't negative. But yeah, we did buy a few new clothing items. Jacob barely had like any shirts, or he hasn't bought shirts in literally years, so we bought a few new shirts for him. Next we have is vacation. So excited about that. We put $400 a month into the vacation fund. This month we actually spent $671.43 on expenses for upcoming vacations. So we did actually spend a little bit here, though we did not go on vacation, but that's what I love about the vacation fund, is that I then just can take money out of here whenever I like book a flight or a hotel or rental car, like whatever that may be, or like get vacation supplies or whatever. So we're now at $1708.24. We do have a few trips coming up for the remainder of the year that I'm excited about and hope that they'll all go well. So looking forward to that. Next we have is Christmas, and we put $100 a month into the Christmas fund. So we're now at $700 saved for Christmas related expenses. Next we have is medical. So we budgeted $25 to put into our medical sinking fund. This covers any sort of, medical related expense. We actually put $75 into it. So actually for the month of July, we did not have medical insurance because my husband Jacob recently switched jobs, and we had a whole waiting period before we could then be enrolled in benefits. So July was the month that we were not covered. We did get a COBRA notice from his old employer that we could enroll in benefits, but it was $2,200 for just the premium for the month. And so instead we just waited, and there were so many things that we could probably just pay for out of pocket before it would even hit $2,200 to make sense to even pay the premium. So we were just like, we'll wait and see, and if something obviously was super necessary for a bad hospital visit, then we could go back and enroll in COBRA. After that event occurred, I called them and talked to them to make sure that I understood it all correct. And if you're in this situation where you're trying to figure out COBRA, insurance, continuation of benefits, definitely call and fully understand it. So all that to be said, we did not have medical insurance this month, but we did actually have some medical events. Jacob tweaked his neck really bad, so we had to go to the chiropractor 3 times this month. So we did pay $102.80 going to the chiropractor for him. So I have added $75 to that so that we have $384 in that account. Next we have is cord blood registry. So we actually did cord blood registry for our son Peter when he was born. We did their cord blood banking. It was a really awesome, smooth process, and I love that we have that, but there is a storage fee annually, and so we are saving $31 a month to be able to cover the annual fee when it comes due in May. If you're interested in doing cord blood registry and cord blood banking, I will have a link down in the description box below for them. They made the process so easy, and yeah, love that we have that. So we have that at $62 now. Oh. Next we have is car maintenance. We put $75 a month into the car maintenance fund to cover any sort of car repair things. And this month we spent $197.95, so we now have $11.78. Next we have is house maintenance, which we've been putting $375 a month into, and we're actually going to increase this going forward because I've been saving 1% annually of our house value. So 1% times the value of our home divided by 12, and then save that amount each month. And so that has been $375, but with our house going up in value, that number is also going up. So I want to get that adjusted. So we spent $189.49 on house maintenance related expenses. So we're now down to $2465.89 in our house maintenance fund. Next, we have as household. We put $100 a month into the household fund to cover things like soap, detergent, toilet paper, napkins, like all those sorts of things. We spent $57.12. We're now at $36.96. Next is our baby fund. So this covers any sort of expenses for Peter, like diapers, toys, clothing, like anything that he may need, baby necessities. And so we budgeted 100, and I put 105 in here also so that this wouldn't be negative, because we spent 114 and this is now at 74 cents. Next we have is our brokerage account. So this is kind of where every other penny is going in our budget. We are working on saving money in our brokerage account, investing this money, and we don't have a specific thing that we're looking to invest it for right now, other than we know that maybe in a few years we'll buy a new car, or maybe even have a move, or we'd love to be able to save this money for retirement as well. So right now we're just putting all this extra money into this investment account that we have. So this account was actually negative last month. I was over by $769. I shared in my previous video because I'm very transfer happy. I love to be able to transfer money over at the beginning of the month. And so last month I did that. I transferred it over, and then ended up we had some unexpected expenses come up, and so we couldn't put as much to that line item. So it was technically negative. I'd overfunded it last month. So this month I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to do that. So I waited until the end of the month to be able to transfer money over. I transferred $2,500 over. So this balance is now like positive again, $27. So I'm trying not to be so transfer happy. But yeah, so that is all of our sinking fund money. We put $5,123 into savings. So the grand total out, which is our expenses plus our savings, is $10,781, which equals our income, and we have a zero-based budget. But now it's time to show you our net worth update, which I love being able to track our net worth. Now that we are debt free, this has been fun to watch go up month over month. So this is our net worth. So the first thing that we have here is retirement. We ended the month with 108, 109 in retirement specific accounts. This includes Roth IRAs and 401ks. And next we have is our house. We track our house value through Zillow. I know it's not the most accurate thing, but we actually had a broker's price opinion done on our house a few months ago, and it ended up being within like $5,000 of what Zillow said. So I feel okay for us specifically to just look at Zillow for the price of our home. So I have this in here now at $534,000. Next we have is our emergency fund, which we keep with Ally, like I said, the high yield savings. So that is at $20,036. And next we have is taxes. We have a separate fund that is also sitting in Ally for taxes, because I do have to pay taxes. I am self-employed, and we are expecting to have a tax bill. So we have $17,000 saved for that specifically. Next we have is extra cash. So these are all of our sinking fund amounts, and that is at $5,598. And then we have Peter's 529, which is at $3,700. And then we have our brokerage account that we are just saving money for whenever we plan to spend it on eventually. And that is at $19,397. And then we have Peter's brokerage account, which just hit $4,000. And next we have is our Robinhood account for single stocks, which I actually haven't fully updated this. Let me update it real fast. Oh, it's actually gone up, $1934.02. Bam, there you go. So I have an account with Robinhood. I have a few single stocks there. This isn't our like main investing strategy, but it has been interesting to see and own a few stocks in companies that I like, and just have a little bit in there. Actually, I do have a referral link with Robinhood. I'll leave in the description box down below. You can get a free stock. Then I get a free stock if you want to sign up and check out Robinhood. Next we have is our HSA. We started the month with $28.79 in our HSA. We spent the rest of it, so it is now at $0. So that is now done. No more HSA for us. Our new health insurance plan is a PPO option, so you can't pair that with an HSA, but we will have an FSA, flexible spending account, here soon, and then we hopefully can use those dollars for upcoming medical expenses. Next we have is our Corolla, and that went down in value. It's now at $93.63. And then our RAV4 also went down in value. It's now at $16,671. This may be the first month in a very long time that I've seen both of our cars go down in value, and this has gone down substantially. But we all know the last year has been kind of crazy for the used car market, and we've seen our car go up in value, so this seems more regular for cars to go down in value, so that's okay. So here we have our total assets, which is $739,811, and our one liability, or the things that we owe money on, is our mortgage, and that balance is now at $388,071. So our total net worth, which is all of your assets minus your liabilities, the things that you own minus the things that you owe, is $351,739. So we just crossed that $350,000 mark, and our net worth increased by $13,414 this month. So I just have this other little cell that calculates our house equity. So we have almost $146,000 in home equity, and that is about 27%. So that is our July 2021 budget report and net worth update. I know that that was a lot of information. Man, we had some big overages in the grocery area, but we were still able to work on some great financial goals and reach this new net worth milestone. So that's our update. Don't forget, if you want to check out this budget template, I will have the link in the description box down below so you can check it out there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.